5 Storm Team.
It's the kind of day where you just open the freezer just to feel the cool air. It's a sizzler out there. 94 degrees right now, the current temperature at Hector International. 101 is what it feels like. That's thanks to dew points in the 70s. Very sticky air across the valley. Wind from the south at 13 miles per hour. Grand Forks blue skies with a few clouds. 93 degrees. Feels like 99 after a high of 96. Those south-southwesterly winds continue to keep things warm. 90s for Thief River and Roseau. Look at the hot spot once again in the Devil's Lake Basin with a pair of 97s. From the Devil's Lake area in toward Langdon. 90 for Valley City, and we have 90s in Detroit Lakes right now and in Bemidji. So everyone hot. And take a look at the dew point temperature. This is the temperature we have to cool the air to for the air to become saturated, and many areas in the 60s and 70s. That's very muggy. This is more like air that you would feel in the Gulf of Mexico this time of the year. So that dew point temperature is pleasant and on average is in the mid-50s around here. Gets sticky in the 60s and uncomfortable or oppressive in those 70s. That's where we are now. Radar very quiet tonight. Clear skies, and your hour-by-hour forecast shows this evening south winds continue generally under 10 miles per hour. A few clouds, but not anticipating any showers or thunder showers of widespread nature across the valley tonight. We stay in the 80s through sunset, then cool off only into the low to mid 70s overnight. Start your weekend out mostly sunny, a few clouds in the far north. Then as we go toward midday, we'll see an approaching cold front start to develop. More clouds and a chance for thunderstorms in the early afternoon in the western Dakotas. For us, big difference tomorrow will be gusty south winds, gusting at times over 30 miles per hour out west. Now, as we go through midday, look at this into the early afternoon. Here's the cold front making its way into the Devil's Lake Basin. Likely not before places like Langdon and the Devil's Lake area get close to 100 degrees once again. Watch at temperatures that will soar in the afternoon here in the valley. These storms will progress eastward, and our models showing that the best chance for strong storms will likely be along and north of Highway 2. Although anywhere along this cold front, we could see isolated storms developing. We'll kiss 100 to 101 degrees in Fargo-Moorhead for our afternoon with gusty winds. Lakes country also in the 90s and upper 80s as well. Chance of thunderstorms will be late in the day between 8 and 11 o'clock through the valley. Then the storms blossom into northwest Minnesota overnight before exiting. So at 5 o'clock on Saturday, temperatures very close to 100 in many places in southeast North Dakota. Lakes country will be well into the mid-90s, but the wind will be gusty. So the waves, well, we're not worried about the waves. They're wet, and that will help us keep cool. The Northland will see 95 Bagley, 97 in Crookston, and a sizzler in Grand Forks with a very good chance at tying or breaking a record tomorrow up north with those records in the 90s. 100 is a record breaker up there, 102 degrees in Langdon, where things have been the hottest here the last several days. 71 to start your day in Fargo. By midday, already scorching into the 90s. Gusty winds really pumping up, and then it'll be late before the storms get here, allowing our temperatures to climb into that 100-degree range. If you are heading out to the lakes, watch out for the waves. Temperatures after those 90s will cool down into the upper 80s for the evening. Planning forecast looks like we get cooler weather in here on Sunday. Your 50% chance of rain you see on Sunday there might comes very early in the day. Then the rest of next week looking much cooler in those 70s to mid-80s at most. Another chance of storms Tuesday night.
Thinking my lawn will like Sunday's weather and the rest of the week after that.
I think I will too.
All right, thanks. Coming up later in sports, here from NDSU, former NDSU Bison Kyle Emanuel on his big night last night in the NFL. But first, where you can go this weekend to take a step back in time.